Good morning and welcome to Wake Up to Broker Up with Mark, episode number 36 for 2023. Today, we have a multiple part Broker Up. Wow, multiple part. So the first thing I want to bring to your attention is the acquisition and merger of Homes.com and Homesnap, because Costar is now the owner of those entities. And the reason I bring that up is because for whatever reason, beyond our control, the syncing up of listing data to those two services, Homesnap and Homes.com, isn't occurring quite like it should. We've heard several reports across the company where it's not displaying photos, it's got information, and the information, the data seems to be there maybe, but the photos are not. So be aware of that as you go forth this coming week and make sure that your stuff is syncing. So that brings us to number 2 on today's agenda, which is how. How do you ensure that when you take a listing and you get ready to put it on the market, that it goes as planned? Because some of it, as you know, is outside of our control. When we syndicate listings through the listing services, they just go out there into the internet and they go however they go. And we have some control maybe, but not really much. So you have to be ahead of the people you serve, the sellers, and not be behind the people you serve, the sellers. So how do you stay ahead? Well, the first thing is how. How do you stay ahead of the consumer? And the first thing is you got to have a vision. You got to know how you want the listing flow to go from the time you meet with the person to the time the listing goes into the system, and equally as important, the time that it goes out to the internet and populates the internet. You got to have a vision. Figure out how you want that to be, and then once you have the vision in place, then plan how you're going to do that. Actually give it some thought. Do it and make sure that you know how it's going to go, so that you can inform the seller, this is how it's going to go. And to do that, the best way to do it is to have a checklist. Figure out all the steps and then check each one of them off. Because when you do that, you're more in control. Because if something doesn't happen, for instance, if you're putting a listing in and it doesn't populate to certain sites, you know it and can tell the seller before the seller knows it and tells you. It's much better if you're out in front and you tell the seller, hey, for whatever reason, syndication is not working to Homes.com or to Homesnap. Not sure what the issue is. We're working on finding out, because that's done through the syndication process, through the listing service. See how easy that is? And then develop the routine. Do things similarly every time, because you're less likely to miss a step if you're doing it routinely the same way you always do it. So you plan and you make a checklist, and then you have a routine and you follow that. And last, Realtor Safety Month continues. Be safe out there. And I'm talking not only your personal safety, but the safety of your data. When you get these texts where people are saying, hey, are you still selling real estate and all? Let me tell you, I don't know who generates those or how they're generated, because I'm not that smart, but delete that stuff. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.